Hey, NorCal Disc Golf in the house. I'm your host, Peter Beckwith, and we're back at it again. This time we're in San Francisco, California at Golden Gate Park, one of the best disc golf courses in Northern California, filmed the 2017 Central Coast Disc Golf Fundraiser. We had a great time. The host, Corey Merle, was the tournament director for this event. The top four scores, along with the biggest donator, moved on for a filmed round under Central Coast Disc Golf, so stay tuned for that great video. We want to thank Patrick Brown and the beautification team for making this course spectacular, and the San Francisco Disc Golf Club and all the players that participated. It was a great event. Thank you to Play It Again Sports, Upper Park Designs, Cooperage Brewing Company for the support thus far in this year. And we also want to thank Bear Republic, home of Racer 5, and Yerba Mate, one of the best drinks in disc golf. And here is our featured card. 4 great players here for this round in San Francisco. Leading it off is Danny Ramirez from Windsor, California, currently unrated and part of the UFOs Club. Jeff Faes, 1010 rated from San Francisco, California, currently accepting sponsors. Jesse Kerfeld, rated 977 from San Francisco, California, and also accepting sponsors. 2 really good players. Dale the Gatlin Gun Gatlin, 1000 rated from Santa Rosa, California, sponsored by Death Putt. As we get into the opening hole in San Francisco, hole number 1, pin position C, 294 feet. This was a great course. This course was actually built in 2005. It was actually originally a 9-hole course up until 2007. In March of 2007, it became an 18-hole course and a mainstay in San Francisco's Golden Gate Park. This course is absolutely free to play, and you get free parking as well. It is just spectacular. All the work is done by volunteer work, headed up by Patrick Brown and the Beautification Project team. So if you see them out there, definitely give them maybe $5, give them a thank you. They just do a heck of a job, and it's all self-funded. As Dale Gatlin throwing a really nice roller. And there's the crowd. It was a good crowd. You can see the tarps were out, umbrellas were out, scattered showers throughout the day. And here's Danny Ramirez. And Danny Ramirez just catching an early tree. Let's see if he can recover and try to save par. And here's Jeff Faes, one of the best players in Northern California. And you can see right there why he is a beautiful forehand. And this guy is unsponsored. So if you're a disc golf company, you got to sponsor this guy. He's a great ambassador of the game, one of the nicest people I've ever met in disc golf, and he's a heck of a player. And that shot by Danny Ramirez just a little short, a forehand Firebird, and you can see that shot by Jesse just got a piece of limb, and here is Danny Ramirez to save a par. And just off the front of the basket. And here's Gatlin after a nice roller. It went pretty far and held the line. This is for birdie 2. And just went right past the hole. And here's Jesse, and there's that piece of log that he caught. But he sort of drifted to the right on that shot. And he's going to have a tester for par. And just did not get it to go. And here's Faes' drive. And a birdie on hole number 1 to start it out. Gatlin's going to tap in for par, and bogeys for Ramirez and Kerfeld. And there we can see Faes with the early birdie, Kerfeld and Ramirez with the bogey. And due to the damp conditions of the course, bogeys were magnified today. And here's hole number 2, pin position D, 225 feet. And what I mean by magnified is that because of the wet conditions, rather damp conditions, it was harder to attack the holes and get birdies when in drier conditions, players can sometimes get the birdie right back after getting a bogey. So due to that, never a good way to start the round is getting a bogey. But we'll see, as this is still hole number 2, if the players can rally and see if they can get one back here. Hole number 2 is always a fun hole. This is a fairly new pin position. It's a little bit straighter and longer than normal. But Gatlin had a good drive. He went actually past the hole. And there's Jesse ripping one out and taking a similar line that Dale just took. And Houston, we have a problem. That is way to the right and way in trouble. And we'll see what Danny can do here with a forehand Firebird. And he actually got that clean through the gap, and that was actually a really nice upshot from a very bad lie. As you can see, the undulations in this course, there's a lot of different terrain making this a very difficult course. Uphill, downhill, and then of course all the trees. And Faes just playing extremely smart, laying up, and getting a very close putt for par. Now here is Gatlin, and there you can see Jesse, so very similar lies. I believe Dale had a fairly clean line. There was maybe a little bit of tree in his way. We'll see what he can do. Oh, and he wanted it just off the front of the basket. A tough uphill putt, though. Always have to aim a little bit higher than you want to correct for the hill. And here's Jesse for birdie. And he got it. What a putt. Way to get the birdie putt after the bogey start. So a huge birdie putt for Jesse, and that's going to get him back to even. And what was a great upshot, Danny Ramirez just doesn't cash in on it. And it was low right out of his hand, and another bogey. And Dale Gatlin picking up the par, and Faes picking up the par. And Danny's going to clean up for his bogey 4 on hole number 2. And there you can see Kerfeld with the birdie, Faes and Gatlin with the pars, and Danny Ramirez with another bogey. So not a whole lot of changing, except for the Faes getting back to even. Hole number 3, 343 feet in pin position number B. And one of the things you'll note here as I zoom in, you're going to see pink ribbons or pink tape around each of those trees. And indeed, you are correct. Double Mando. So you got to go in between the trees, otherwise you are considered out of bounds. And if you look at the trail here on the right of the tee box, if you do Anheuser that far back, you are out of bounds. So we do have an out of bounds trail here in San Francisco. It goes throughout the course, and it's just for the safety of people who are walking or using a bicycle. As you can see, Jeff Faes pumping one out there, and that is the Pipeline by DGA. I hope DGA gives this guy a call, because he's a great player. And you can see the first drive that Jesse had. That was right through the middle. It wasn't too far, but he piped it. That was a good shot. And here's Gatlin, looking to be throwing what looks to be maybe like an eagle long, an EL. And he crushed it, but he got a little bit more skip and did what Faes did, as they kind of tilted back to the left. Now the hole is more on the right side, so they're going to have to lay up. And that's got "oh no" written all over it. That is out of bounds, completely missing the Mando, as Danny Ramirez is now an upshot to try to save a 4P. And you can see right here the cart path where it is, or actually the trail, how close it comes to the back side of this hole. It is pretty close. And here is Gatlin after a really nice layup by Kerfeld. And Gatlin is all over the basket. And he should have an easy tap in for par. And here is Jeff Faes, who certainly had the distance. And slow down. And oh no. So Faes actually, per our discussion as a group, went out of bounds. There is a line right there. So he actually had to take a drop. And this is for a 4P after an unfortunate rollaway. And Faes, a fantastic putter, saves it, and there's Kerfeld for a par. So that was an unfortunate 4 for Jeff. And I missed upshot by Danny, and that one was a tough one to swallow. And that's going to end up being a 6 for Danny Ramirez as Dale Gatlin taps in for par. And there you can see Faes with the unfortunate bogey to get to even. And Danny Ramirez with a 6. And he's at +5. Here we are at hole number 4 in position C, 282 feet. This is a tricky hole, downhill with a whole lot of trees in your way. And because of the rain, there was actually a pond that formed at the bottom of this hill. And look at the ricochet that Kerfeld got. That actually flipped up on its side and started to roll towards the pond, but did not. So he got very fortunate that he was not OB. And Dale Gatlin pulled out a new ghost right out of the box, and this is what he's using on hole number 4. And no, looked like he caught a tree early. And let's see if Faes can show us the local route through the trees. And that is gorgeous. Didn't touch a thing. And there's Danny Ramirez with a forehand. Now, one of the things you'll notice is that this was a single cam video. So one of the new things we're going to be doing is we will be moving to second cam. So all the viewers and everybody that watches this channel, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the comments, the feedback. We will be moving to 2 cams very near, so please stay tuned for that. Very exciting. As Dale with a little touch and go shot, he should be close enough to save that par. And there is the pond that you can see. You can actually see it in Dale's shot, and Kerfeld just rolled right by it. And a really nice run at it, and Danny taking no chance. So bogey, bogey, and then he got that triple. He wants a par. He's trying to get back into it. And here is Gatlin for par. And just didn't quite get it. And a nice par for Danny. And Kerfeld. And there's Faes' drive. Talk about local route. So a 4 for Gatlin and a birdie for Faes. And there we can see Gatlin with a bogey and Faes with a terrific birdie to put him in negative numbers at -1 as Gatlin moves to +1. Everybody else remains the same. Here's hole number 5 in position C, 405 feet away. One of my favorite holes at Golden Gate Park. Just a beautiful scenic hole. And Faes with one of the best shots of the day. Absolutely pured it. And I don't know how that guy isn't sponsored. And there's a good route by Jesse. He went the low route, and he's going to have possibly a look at it. Here's Danny Ramirez, who's using his red destroyer, and that clipped a tree. So he's hit 2 trees with the destroyer and missed OB. It might be time to pull that thing from the bag. And Gatlin, a rare tree hit. But there's so many trees here at Golden Gate. One's going to get you eventually. Extremely hard to go an entire round without clipping something. And that looked like a pretty good upshot, just a little bit short. This is a pump, 405 feet. And there you go. You can see the basket as we're getting a look at Gatlin's upshot. Oh, and he hit that tree right there. He had a run at it. That was looking really good. And there it is. He's just going to have to put it close on the putt. And that should work. So he'll have that for 4. As here's Jesse, birdie. And just playing safe. Nice little up putt. Nothing serious. Here's Danny Ramirez getting close. And Faes doing Faes things. Another birdie. So that's 3 birdies in the first 5 holes, and his birdies have all been within 5 feet. And Jesse with the tap in, and here's a couple bogey putts. Hard to recover from a tree hit at Golden Gate Park. And Gatlin with a bogey, it's going to put him at +2, and that's rare that you see 2 bogeys in a row from Gatlin. Ramirez with another one, and Faes going to -2 as we go into hole number 6 in position D, 319 feet. And I have to mention it again, this course was in tip-top shape. It was absolutely gorgeous. So Patrick Brown, thank you so much. The beautification team, you guys work around the clock. Anything that happens to this course, a tree falls, a limb falls, you guys are there to clean it up. So unbelievable job at taking care of this course, and it is definitely one of my favorites, as Jesse just leaks a little bit back to the left. And Faes, that was a nice shot. I believe that was another pipeline shot. And here's Jesse, not quitting on that destroyer, but skipping way to the right. And here's Gatlin. So hole number 6 is one of 2 holes with an elevated basket. You can't quite see it from here, but this hole, it goes uphill to downhill, and you'll actually see that the basket is down the hill and then it is on an elevated tee, which makes this a very interesting and difficult hole to putt when you do have an opportunity for birdie. And this is a Metal Flake Gator, one of Danny's go-to mids. And that just leaked out on him. That's going to be inside the circle. He'll have about 27 feet remaining, and there it is. You can see what he's got. Here's Faes for birdie, and it looks like he's going to run this. And he was about maybe 2 feet to the left, and Jesse, running at the camera, I actually missed his upshot and putt, but he ended up getting a really nice par. And here's Danny to save 3. And he got it. What a putt. A huge putt. He was struggling until this putt, and he absolutely canned it. And Dale Gatlin says, don't call it a comeback. But it might be. And Faes, with a great putt for par, turns around to Gatlin and says, don't take these short putts lightly. And Gatlin says, oh, but I do. And maybe he should listen, because he just completely whiffed that. And Gatlin with another bogey. That's 3 in a row if you're counting. And that is a dead turkey. That's right. You've heard it here at NorCal Disc Golf First. Now up in Mendocino County, that's called a vulture. As we go to hole 7, 374 feet in pin position number C. And there's Faes going back to that DGA pipeline. And the pipeline released in 2016 towards the end of the year. A fantastic disc. It is known for its understability, but you can put it on a lot of different lines and it will hold. A really nice disc. I have one in my bag, as I'm going to do it in the bag a little bit later this year, so stay tuned for that. I know everybody enjoyed the last one, or maybe thought it was questionable, but it was fun to film. And that's a nice rip for Jesse, as Danny going back to the forehand. And that's just going to leak a little bit short and to the right. And this is eagle long for Dale Gatlin, one of his discs that he likes to use. Now, Dale Gatlin, known for his gigantic arm, he can crush. And that's going to be in the ivy. One of the reasons Dale was talking about his struggles on this course. He's generally known for very good play, but it's something about the course here at Golden Gate that he always gets them. I don't think it's the trees. Could be the difficult lines, I'm not sure, but he's been playing good thus far. As nice upshots by Dale and Danny. And Faes actually went very far down the hill as that just kept going to the right. And this is his upshot to try to get close to save par. And indeed he does. A great shot from a very difficult line. And here's Jesse with the really good opportunity for birdie. And he just was low and to the left. So 4 par putts coming up, and here's Ramirez. And he got it. So the big putt on hole number 5, actually hole number 6, I take that back, and he might have found some confidence as he's knocked down 2 putts in a row. And there's Kerfeld, no doubt about that one. A couple tap-ins coming up for pars. We should have a par frame here. There's Faes and Gatlin 2 feet away. So a par frame indeed. And there we are. 4 pars, so the scores do not change after hole number 7. As we're going to start heading into hole number 8, pin position C, 296 feet. Now this is an elevated tee box, and we are going downhill and to the right. This is a tricky pin position as it is in the middle of some junipers, providing some cover for the pin. And that is the typical play. A beautiful forehand with that pipeline, I believe. As Faes just crushing one. Here is Kerfeld. Now you can reach this hole either the backhand line or the forehand line, and I've seen players throw a thumber. One of the great parts about Golden Gate is it provides a variety of shots. And there's Danny with a forehand. You can see Kerfeld went backhand along, and here's Gatlin. He's going to do backhand, and this is actually a rock. This is a rock given to him by Michael Paremba. Paremba, very good open player. Had the pleasure of filming him and also playing with him in doubles. Really nice person. And what? Drains it from, I don't even know how far, 70, 80 feet? Somebody better take this guy out to lunch, because that was one of the best putts, if not the best putt of the round. And a huge putt for Kerfeld, and that is definitely picking up a stroke on somebody. And here's Danny Ramirez, who has a very difficult shot behind the bush. It's going to have to be a finesse shot, and he's trying to get his footing for his approach to save a par. And one of the things that was really fun about this round is that this is a fundraiser tournament. So this was not a very serious event. It was, the players in this card had a blast. They were giving it their full effort, but it didn't have the seriousness of an A-tier event or a B-tier event. These guys were having a blast and just trying to birdie everything. And you can see a good upshot by Danny, but even a better putt for Gatlin. 3 birdies on hole number 8 as Faes was parked, as well as Gatlin, and Kerfeld with a monster putt. Danny Ramirez with a nice par. Here we are on hole number 9, pin position B, 245 feet. Great hole, and there is a teepee on the left, which sometimes the hole can be behind it. But today it is in the easiest pin position that it can be in, and this is a beautiful shot by Faes showing you the line. Just a simple hyzer. And here's Jesse. Taking that same line, and there's 2 birdie putts coming up for the local San Francisco guys. Here's Gatlin, who's trying to rally after the 3 bogeys. He got 1 birdie back, so he's at +2, and he's got a birdie putt to try to get another stroke back. And here's Ramirez, who hasn't quite settled in yet, trying to find a rhythm. But that looks to be just a tad bit short, but he'll have a putt. Just to let everybody know that this is the last hole in this video, as these are 9-hole videos. So please catch part 2, because there's some great golf ahead. And an unfortunate roll at the end, so Danny will have a tester just beyond that little ridge there to Jeff Faes' left. And this is Faes for birdie. And never a doubt. So another birdie for Faes as he moves to -4. And oh no! Somebody call the putting committee. And that was a rare miss by Gatlin on a fairly short putt. And that's twice he's did it so far this round. That's 2 strokes he wish he had back, but a par nonetheless. Danny with a nice par, and Kerfeld putting it in for birdie. So Kerfeld moves to -2, and he's 2 back of Faes, who leads at -4. And Gatlin is at +2, as Ramirez is at +6 after 9 holes here. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks everybody for watching. We're going to be doing a giveaway, so please pay attention to this here. We have a couple different things you need to do. You need to like us on Facebook. You need to like this video and write "done" in the comments below on this video, and the winners will be announced in the next video. So thank you so much, as that is going to be a few discs we're giving away from our sponsor.